Hi everyone, this is Reed. Today I'm going to go through the assignment we gave in class on optimization day 3. Um, I'm going to start with the optimization portion. It seemed everyone had regression down. However, if you would like a video on that, please let us know and we'll be happy to make one. So what I've done to start is put in all the information that we were given in the assignment. The suppliers, the cost of short and long sleeve shirts, and the maximum production that they can do. From the regression that we did, I've pulled in the number of short sleeve shirts that we need and the number of long sleeve shirts that we need. So now I'm going to build our tables that we'll need to use for optimizing. So what I'm going to do is copy the line of suppliers and paste the information in there. And I'm going to create a new column called number of short sleeve ordered, and a second one called number of long sleeve ordered. The final column is total from supplier. And what this column is going to be the sum of these other two short and long sleeve. And I'm going to highlight all of our data and expand our columns appropriately. So the next thing I'm going to do is color this portion in yellow, and that will designate to us that those will be our variable cells that Excel and Solver will be filling in. And then finally down here I'm going to put total number of shirts. And what this is going to be is the sum of all of our short sleeve shirts. And we'll drag this over, and that will give us the sum of all of our long sleeve shirts. The final thing I'll do is drag this so that way we get the total from all of our suppliers. I'm going to put these in as orange to designate that they will be constraints for us. The next step will be to put our minimize cost, and that will be the sum product, first point equal sign, of the cost per shirt for each supplier, a comma, and then we'll select our second array, which is the number of shirts ordered. Once you get to this step, you are now ready to use Solver to optimize the number of shirts you're going to order from each supplier. So if we now jump into the Data tab and choose Solver, we can set up our constraints. So our objective is going to be the minimize cost. And because we're doing cost, we've now set our objective and we want to minimize. Our variable cells will be the ones that we colored in yellow. And now we can add our constraints, which are the orange cells. So our first constraints are going to be we need to order less than the number of shirts each supplier can provide us. So Preston's Impressions needs to be less than or equal to its maximum production of 5,000. Caitlin's Camping will be less than or equal to the 1,200, and so on for our other two suppliers. Next, we are going to be ordering at least as many short sleeve and long sleeve shirts as we needed from regression. So I'm going to click on the number of short sleeve ordered, change this to greater than or equal to, and select our 4,099, and do the same thing for long sleeve shirts and make it greater than our 1,701. Next, I'm going to make sure that all of these are greater than or equal to 0. And the reason for this is because we're minimizing cost, Excel will think that going below that would be better, but adding this will make sure that we at least order 0. And finally, I'm going to add in a final one as integer. And the reason for this is we don't want to order a third of a shirt. So I'm going to say OK. And finally, I'm going to click Cancel because we have all of our constraints. And I'm now going to switch us into the simplex LP solving method. The reason for this is we want the one best solution. And we'll click Solve. Right now, I'm going to click on the answer report, and this will help us answer one of the questions in a moment. And we'll click OK. So, as you can see, our minimized cost is $82,039.25. And I'll make that a $sign. And I'm going to call this Shirt Optimization 1 Answers. So in the exercise, it's going to ask us what our binding constraints are. And we can find that from looking at the constraint table. And the ones listed as binding will be our binding constraints. And what the binding constraints tell us is that we have met our boundaries. So for Caitlin's Camping, Pirate Kitty Graphics, and J&D Designs, we've ordered all the shirts that they have available. As you can see, Preston's Impressions is non-binding, and what that tells us is that he has an extra 200 shirts available that we could order if we needed to. Sorry, he has an extra 2,600 shirts, and you can get that from this Slack here. So this is the answer to the first section. I'm going to pause the video here and do the next one.